Yo, what's going on everybody? This is Brendan back again with another video today, and in this video I want to tell you guys all about my favorite tripod that I've ever owned. This is the Sachtler Flowtech 75 carbon fiber tripod. Really amazing, and it's some of the best money that I've ever spent, so I wanted to do a video reviewing it. Now in this video I'm just going to be reviewing the legs and not the full Sachtler Flowtech tripod with the head and everything, because I don't own the head. For the past year or so, I've owned these legs and I've just been using a Manfrotto, like an old 501 HD Manfrotto head, which is not like a full fluid head. So it's not the smoothest head in the world, although it does at least support the weight of my camera, so it gets the job done. But I really have been meaning to upgrade to the full Sachtler system with the fluid head as well. But I've been saving up money, and with this whole coronavirus thing, money's kind of tight right now. And I decided I didn't really want to wait to do this review because I've been holding it off for a while, and I just wanted to get it out there to at least review the legs for you guys, because I think the legs come with so many amazing features that are really unique to just this system that I haven't really seen anywhere else. And this is a really popular set of tripod legs, especially for people who use slightly larger cameras like the Red. Tripods in general are pretty expensive. They're not cheap things, especially ones that support a lot of weight and are a little bit more on the heavy duty end. Now this is only a 75mm bowl, so it's not like a super large tripod by any means, but it does support a decent amount of weight. But I digress. Tripods are not usually that cheap, and this definitely isn't on the cheap side. I mean, it could be a lot more expensive, so I think this is very affordable, and for all the features you get, I think it's pretty awesome. And so that's why I say this is some of the best money I've ever spent is on these sticks right here. So first and foremost, let's just get price out of the way. These sticks cost me about $1,300 new from B&H, $1,300. Let's break down some of the features that make this tripod such an absolute joy to use. First things first, it's carbon fiber, meaning it's super lightweight for the amount of durability it has. It also has sort of a unique form factor. You don't really see tripod legs with this sort of like weird trapezoidal, but like rounded trapezoidal kind of shape to it. It's not just a perfectly cylindrical tubes for the legs. So that's kind of unique, and it makes it look pretty awesome in my opinion. And it's not like aluminum sticks or anything that get cold to the touch or anything like that. So that's a nice little added bonus. But where this tripod really shines is in the paddle feature for adjusting the legs. Now this is a 2-stage tripod, and both of the stages are operated from one set of paddles on the top. I call them paddles. I don't know if that's the actual term that Sachtler uses, but it's basically these really big handles on the top that allow you to basically loosen the leg so you can adjust it and tighten the leg. So what it does is it completely eliminates fatigue on your hands, which is really awesome. Also, it allows you to do it with a single hand and using the other hand to lift and lower the tripod. So it's really fast and easy for one person to do it, and it doesn't require any effort whatsoever, which is pretty sweet. So to demonstrate this, I'll just put it on the floor here. So basically, you just lift the paddles up, they unlock. You can lift the tripod up or close the tripod. I'll lift it back up so you can see it. I'll lift it up all the way. So that's as high as it goes from the ground up to my head. And then you just drop the handles again, and now it's tight. So it's super easy to open and close these paddles. There's like no effort at all, and it's big, so your whole hand can grab it. It's really easy to feel for. And yeah, it's just nice, like one person can operate this thing. Also has a nice little side handle, which is just a nice little feature. I just kind of leave it on there, but you can actually remove it if you wanted to. There's a little rubber stopper here. You can access a screw to unscrew it and take it off. But that's like nice, it just makes it easier for carrying. It's not at a perfect balance point, but there's not really anywhere else that you could put this unless you like put it on one of the legs themselves, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense. So another like simple but overlooked design with a lot of other tripod legs is the fact that there's a really nice gap between each leg here. So when you close the tripod fully, you never pinch your fingers. And in its most closed position, like the gap never gets smaller than this, so your fingers never get pinched on this tripod, which has happened to me on every other tripod I've ever used, where your fingers get pinched in some way or another. It just doesn't happen here, which is, again, it's like one of these small overlooked things that you don't even realize, but it just makes operating the thing so much damn nicer. So the next feature I want to talk about, let's look at the spreader in the middle. Now, a lot of tripods have different types of spreader designs that I'm not a huge fan of, where they're not super rigid in terms of how they're attached to the actual leg themselves. With this spreader, and there are other spreaders that do this as well, this isn't the only one, but with this spreader, there's no wobble left and right, it's only up or down. So there's no way that you can get one leg coming in further than another leg. When you open one, all of them open simultaneously, and it's just rigid. Like there's, don't mean to like name names here, obviously, but for some Manfrotto tripods that I've used in the past, where you can move one leg in further than the other, and your tripod winds up like, I can't even do it here to show you, I'd have to take this off. But your tripod winds up like this, right? Instead of with all the legs open the same distance. I just highlighted another feature here, which is how easy it is to remove the spreader and attach it again. There's just these really nice pinch buttons. You just pinch them and you pull it off. So that's really nice. And then of course you have just the little screws here that you can use to unscrew it and loosen it to open it further or close it. So what's really nice about this is obviously if you want it to be a wider stance on the tripod, you can do that by opening up the legs and making the stance of the tripod a lot wider, just so that way it's more stable if you're using a heavier camera, or just if you like it just wider in general, if you like it to be more stable, then of course you can do that. And that is how wide the stance is with that configuration. Now, the other really cool thing is just how easy it is to remove the spreader entirely. And I'll show you in a sec here. Toss that over there. So you can remove it entirely and you can use the tripod just like this. Now look how far you can open the legs out. You can open them out completely 90 degrees to the actual ball head, which there are not a lot of tripods that do that. Now, of course, this is like pretty impractical. I don't know how you would ever be able to use it like this or why you would ever need to open it completely 90 degrees. But of course it has different settings for how high it'll lock. So it can just be completely open like this, or if you press this button in, it can lock a little bit lower right there. Then you just let it keep going. Now it locks a little bit lower there. And then I think it has one more stage. Yeah. So then it'll lock a little bit lower there. And then in order to unlock it, you just press down and you can lift it up again, and it'll just stay in that unlocked position until you press it in, and then it'll keep locking the lower you go. So it's super easy to adjust that and change the settings. So press these locks in and you can close it again. So it's super easy to get it open that fast and get it whatever setting you want. It'll lock in different settings for how wide you want the stance to be. The spreader is just super easy to remove. So let me get the spreader back on here. Put this down for a second. Raise that up so you can still look at it while I do this. I'm just gonna shorten these real quick. Okay. So the spreader is just super easy to pop on and off. You just pinch it and you line it up with the holes. And of course, there's always a little bit of like finagling you have to do just to make sure the legs line up again. But once you get the legs to line up, it's, you know, obviously not that bad. And then you have the spreader back on there again. So last but not least, let's flip this around and actually look at the bottom end of the tripod. Just to show you how easy it is to actually adjust this. I want that to be, I want it to look presentable, you know? I want them to all be flush with one another. Let's see. I think you can get an idea from watching me like mess with this a little bit. Just how lightweight this thing is and sort of like how easy it is to operate on your own. The fact that I can tighten this upside down with one hand is just like super cool. It makes operating it like so easy. Anyway, I just did that to make it look nice on the bottom so I can show you the feet. So let's talk about the feet. Last but not least, it has really nice big rubber pads for the feet that are easily removable, like most like higher end feet are. That's just sort of like a basic feature that you'd want in any like nicer higher end tripod that you're spending a decent amount of money on. So it's nice to have that. So actually last but not least, I almost forgot one more feature, which is really nice. I'm not sure if you've heard it as I've been opening and closing this a bunch, but there's actually a magnet or a series of magnets right on the bottom of the first stage of the tripod here. So it actually magnetizes shut. You don't have any lock that you need to latch across the legs to keep them together. So as you can see, when it's magnetized, I can grab onto one leg and the other legs don't pop off, which is really nice. Super convenient. You don't have to do anything. It just automatically locks and then pops back out again. So the magnet, I forget where they are. They're somewhere around like here on the surface that each of these legs come in contact with each other. So if you listen, you'll hear the snap of them all kind of coming together. So it's nice. Just a really nice feature to have. Again, not something that you see in a lot of tripods. That's it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it was useful to any of you thinking about buying this tripod. I don't have enough nice things to say about this thing, basically. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.